Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Run Your Day podcast. As always, your host, Dan Hafner, here, joining you today. Today's topic is this. Let's take it from the top. As always, appreciate you guys coming on and enjoying the show. Hope you get a good one from this one. So, um, a little bit of an announcement here. I am gonna go. I'm gonna do something I think that's gonna be really, really cool, and I hope you guys are really gonna like. Not putting the show on hiatus again or anything like that. Just not to scare any of you guys. But basically, so here's the story. I do a lot of meditation, right? And being on going solo here for the past couple months, being my own entrepreneur, being doing my own thing. It's been a lot of time in isolation. Which is a problem, obviously, right? But I've been kind of putting different things in place, doing a bunch of different things, trying a bunch of different things to negate that. But I do spend a lot of time in isolation, right? This leads to a lot of self reflection. This leads to a lot of time spent by myself, and I've learned more about myself in the past 3 months than I think I've ever learned about myself. Parts I like, parts I don't like, parts I want to fix, parts I need to double down on, just a whole bunch of things, right? Um, so if anyone's thinking about that, entrepreneurship I think is the ultimate path to self discovery and the ultimate self help course that you can ever go through. And I'm just beginning, right? But basically, I was just kind of sitting in a meditation the other day, and this idea just kind of came to me. And I decided that I'm going to act on it. I think it's going to be something, it's going to be difficult for me to do, but it's also probably the best thing for me. And I think it's also going to benefit you, the listeners, quite a bit more than the episodes that I have been doing recently. Not that they haven't been, helpful or beneficial to you, but I think that this is gonna light some shit on fire. I think this is gonna be awesome. Um, so here it is. I won't keep teasing you, but here's the idea, right? So what I'm gonna do with the show as we move forward is I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Like I'm gonna go back to the beginning of when I started this entire journey, pre Run Your Day podcast, pre Runwage app, pre sales job, pre everything. Like when I started this entire journey of turning my life around, of becoming something more, of trying to be better. And I've never done anything like this. Because some of it's chronicled throughout the Run Your Day podcast, right? If you go back and you binge listen to a lot of these, which I have been doing recently, you can kind of see the chronology of how things have gone. Um, but I decided to do this because one, I think that it really forces me to get very, very clear on the value that I'm trying to give you guys, the listeners, every single day, right? And two, it forces me to also kind of work through my own things, because I can feel there's a lot of stories going on in my mind right now, and a lot of self obstacles that I'm pushing through and that I'm working through, and I kind of want to be that example for you, like in real time. It's why I started this podcast in the first place, so you could see the rise of someone, or you could at least hear the rise of someone from where they were to where they want to go, right? Because that's the one differentiator I think that differentiates this podcast from other self-help or motivational podcasts, or whatever. You listen to people like the Rick Roll podcast or Steve Harvey or all these people, and I'm not hating on anyone. But these people have made it in life. Like they have made it. They have, you know, e- expensive sponsors. They got great studios to do things with. They got all these resources at their disposal, which can produce a phenomenal product and a phenomenal show, right? And like I said, I'm not hating on anyone. Um, but for those of you that have followed me along, I hope you're inspired by some of the things that I talk about on a daily basis, and um, that I've gone through. right? And I don't do any of this to toot my own horn. I like I said, I do this to just show you what's possible. And I've kind of fallen off of that. I've fallen off of that lately, and I realized it. Um, and that's kind of one of my biggest motivations for getting back and just going back and doing this. So every episode is going to just be a step by step chronological document of my progress through this. And this is about 18 months worth. So this is going to go on for a little while. So if you're not up for it, if you don't really want to listen to my story or anything like that, I mean that's a perfect time to drop off. But I really think if you stick around, you're going to get a lot more useful information, a lot more valuable content. Um, from these types of episodes, because I'm still going to tie in the different lessons, the different takeaways, all the different things. But these are I'm just going through a couple episodes here that I've already done, and just it goes way deeper. It goes way deeper than it has before. Um, and you guys know, like if you've either been on my show as a guest, if you still listen, or if if you've listened to some of the interviews I've done, like I'm not afraid to ask the difficult questions of people. Like I really want the Run Your Day podcast to stay raw and relevant and completely just real, right? Like just very, very real, no fluff, no bullshit, no additional things. Um, so I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm nervous. I'm really freaking nervous about this. This is really me just kind of pouring out my guts and my soul and in the dark places of my mind to you guys to listen to. So I hope it's compelling. I hope it's something that you find incredibly valuable and can kind of put yourself in my shoes, and kind of apply what the things I've gone through and the obstacles I've faced and the hurdles I've overcome into your own life, right? And that's the ultimate reason why I do all of this, is to just kind of put everything I have out there for you to kind of get information from, to sift through and see how it applies and how you can leverage it in your own life. If I can help anyone out there just shortcut their path to just getting out of their own way, building a bigger and better life for themselves, or just accelerating results in any area of your life, that's a success for me. Like that's a win, right? And I just do it because I've been impacted by so many other podcasts, so many coaching programs, a lot of different things that I'll get into, that I'll talk about throughout this journey. And I do it to pay it forward. I do it to just kind of say what a lot of people I think are thinking, but are kind of afraid to say. And a lot of people, you might even find yourself being, afraid to even come out and admit some of the things that I'll talk about, and that's okay. Like that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of sensitive topics, that we talk about, and that there's a lot of sensitive things inside of our own brains and our hearts and our souls that we really don't want to go to sometimes. We really don't want to reveal those things or go to these places of shame and guilt and remorse and all these, stupid things we've done. Um, but I promise you, when you do start to go there and you learn how to go there without really upsetting, your the flow of your life and the progress that you've made, um, shit changes. Like it changes really, really fast. So yeah, that's all I can really say about that, is the deeper and the darker you're willing to go and face your own demons and your own bullshit, the faster you'll grow. And that's kind of what I've done, and that's kind of where I've fallen off lately, which I've realized the slow progress that I've had. So that's kind of why I got this vision of where to go. So this episode just kind of an explanation episode for the ones to come. It's kind of a buffer, I guess, what you could call it. So honestly, the lesson that I kind of wanted to just portray to you guys today, so you don't leave the show with absolutely no value or content or anything like that, is this realization that sometimes um, the fastest way forward is to look backwards. You learn where you are from where you've been. You learn where you are from where you've been. And sometimes you have to just step back and take an audit of yourself, of your mindset, of your results, of the things that you have that are real in your life, the results that you've manifested through whatever decisions or actions that you've had. And sometimes it's just going through the past with a fine-tooth comb and sifting through all of these different things that you might have missed. You might have a current story going on in your mind about why you are where you are, what you have, but you might go through this past with a fine-tooth comb and find out that you got that because of a really dumb story that you had months or years ago. Right? And then it shatters everything that you perceive to be real or possible because of something that simple, right? And it's crazy. And then, to be honest with you guys, I don't know what we're gonna have. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I really, really don't. I haven't pre-recorded, these episodes. I haven't like I said, I've done one, but like I haven't. I have no idea where this is gonna go, and that's the beauty of it. There's every day when you come on and listen here, like, I don't even know what's gonna come out of my mouth. Like, I don't have this shit scripted. Like, I just sit here and talk, right? So, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. So just remember that. You find out where you are from where you've been. And then to add to that, that makes you see more clearly where you can go, right? Because I think a lot of us, we compare where we want to go from where we've been, and we like either have this justification or this reason or this obstacle of like, well, I can't go there because of this reason. I've been here. But it's like, well, no, you're technically over here, so you technically can go there, right? So it's all this twisted up crap in our minds that we can work through and we can work through together. So I'm really, really excited for it. That's going to wrap up this, I don't want to say inaugural episode, but forefront episode, I guess you could call it. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited for it. And I think it's going to close out 2019 on quite a note. So really looking forward to this. If you guys have any ideas for what I can talk about, I know it's kind of my life I'm talking about, but if you have any topic suggestions ever, you can always message me on Facebook. Reach out to me via Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. I'd love to hear your input, feedback from the show or whatever. So buckle up, everyone. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be interesting. We don't know what we're going to come across, but we will figure it out. And hopefully this will be one wild ride. All right, my friends, that's going to wrap up the show today. Appreciate you coming on, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.